are now tuned in to Coffee Talk on LE Radio. Serving you up some new flavor, fresh out of ATL. Where the vibes prevail, the convo's held between a scale of 1 to 10 exceeds 1,000. But do you feel me? Go ahead and get your cups ready as we pour into your mind, slow and steady. You may need a full cup for this. CoffeeTV.com. We got raw and adulterated conversations, live, provocative entertainment, new flavor in your ear from my podcast, talk show, radio. Watch us live online in the studio. Tell a friend they can come too. Never know what's in store with the whole crew. Cause we got you. Yeah. Get here for the vibes. Follow us at LE Radio Live.
Good evening, everyone. Hello.
Okay, we on here. I ain't pop you up by yourself. I did it quick that time.
I'll be ready though. I'll be ready. Oh my God. So, what is up, everybody? Good evening. It is Thursday. It's almost Friday. And for some of y'all, it's almost payday. So, shout out to that. Shout out to that. So, how's everybody's week going so far?
We're doing great.
Y'all doing
I'm doing amazing.
We got Ashley from the ATL Mix joining
Hey.
us tonight.
Hey, I'm in the building, baby.
Yeah, joining us tonight.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to switch it up a little bit because I know the flyers say meditation and everything. We don't know what happened to our special guest. We think it may have been a mix up with the time because she's on the West Coast, California.
Yeah.
I think.
California.
And I thought she was here, so it may have been some mix up with the time. But anyway, the show must go on, so we're gonna move this shit right along, and we're gonna talk about women proposing to men. Just cut right to it. Just cut right to this.
Yes.
Yeah. Here we go.
So those of you who may or may not know, it's been kind of like on Facebook, everywhere, Twitter, everything, and there's this image of this woman, as you can see on the screen, proposing to her husband, fiance or whatever. So they're on the beach. She's visibly pregnant, and she's proposing. So a lot of people have been sounding off about this, talking about how she's crazy as hell. They was talking about the man and how he's nothing because she's proposing and everything. So tonight we just gonna talk about this because I know there's a lot of feelings surrounding it. I know Ashley, you said that you felt some type of way about it. So let's go ahead and get started onto this.
Right, we're gonna get started onto this, and there was some people, to my surprise, some women that was actually okay with this. But when I originally posted this on my page, I posted this on my Facebook page. I really didn't. I posted it, but when I first saw it, I was cracking up. Of course, I don't agree with it. I do not agree with it. I'm very old fashioned and traditional, and I'm sorry, but I do not feel like a woman should propose to a man. That's just me getting down on the whole one knee thing and all of that. I know we into this whole new label thing, and we're gonna touch on that a little bit too. I want to have some special guests on here that are people who identified as a certain thing, so that they could go more in depth about the gender roles or whatever. But when I originally posted it, because I was laughing, because I seen it on somebody else's Facebook page, and I was laughing at the comments. But it was basically because if you notice right there at the top, Whoopi is looking down at him, and that's the scene from that movie she was in with Tiffany Haddish.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's what man, when Tiffany get out of jail and try to go live with her and all that. So I was laughing at the comments on the page, and then how they put Whoopi up there looking out, glaring out the window, peering down on them. But again, I'm very traditional when it comes to certain things, and I just feel like no, a woman should not. But that's me. That's my opinion. That's how I feel. Other people could do what they want to do, and it's not really. Everybody had their opinion about it, and I don't really think nobody is judging. But me personally, no, I think it's traditional way. It should be the man should be getting down on one knee and proposing. So then somebody said, well, what if it's two women? Still, somebody is going to be more masculine than the other person. So
Okay.
I don't know. Typically how women propose to each other. I've seen some get down on one knee, some it's just a conversation like, hey, marriage, da da. You said a day, you going on about your business or whatever.
Right.
But when we speaking in the heterosexual standpoint, from that, I do not believe a woman, especially a pregnant woman, should be down on one knee asking this, I don't, guy, dude to marry her. That's just my opinion.
Mm.
So I'm gonna take this down for a moment so I can get to the comments.
So, hello everybody, Maxine and hi, Hindi and Nui, you're back with us. So yeah, there was a lot of comments on that, and it was very interesting to me, kind of reading through. What did you feel about it, Ashley?
For me, no. You'll never catch Ashley down on her damn knees, okay? Not proposing to no fucking man, period. I'm not proposing to nothing, baby. If you don't see me as worthy enough for you to propose to me, baby, it won't happen. We won't be together. Well,
Mm,
I'm not gonna say we won't be together. We just won't be married.
That's
But honestly, my mom, she didn't propose to my dad. She didn't get on one knee, have a ring, all that. But she just pretty much told him like we get married. You know what I'm saying? Like he never proposed to her. She was just like we get married. So my
common.
dad was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? And they got married. You stayed married for 23 years, you know. So I mean, to each his own. I'm not here to judge, but I know me doing that, you would never catch me doing that. I'm sorry.
never.
And then she pregnant too. I'm like, girl, get your ass up out there, girl. Get get up, okay?
Get up.
Get up, sis. Get up.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one, and it might be due to my age or whatever. But like when I saw it, I didn't immediately think that she was proposing to him, as in like she was the first one. I thought maybe they were doing that cute where he proposed to her already, and then she's just kind of proposing to him. Because I have seen that where like the guy will propose, and then the woman might go get him a ring as well, so he can have an engagement ring. So
But not
that's what
get
I
down on
thought,
one knee. Nah, I ain't with that shit.
possibly, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that was weird. I was thinking like, I mean, if you're gonna do it, you can do whatever you want, but you're pregnant, you really shouldn't be on the ground. Like I feel like as the man, I wouldn't want her to be on the ground with my baby like that. Like, no, I need you to stand up, make sure you all right.
I
I
think
don't
one of
think
the comments said that maybe it's not his baby. I don't know.
I'm done. It
you
don't
know
even matter.
what? She looked like she was about to drop. So I hope that's his baby. Cause you get married to somebody who's about to have a baby.
Oh,
I don't know, child.
Like I said, I'm old school.
me
I'm old
too.
school, and I just don't. Um, I don't agree.
Hmm.
Me either. I'm just
So y'all, you would be more traditional in the aspect of proposing and everything, and
Yeah,
married and stuff like that.
yeah. I don't know, a pregnant woman proposing to a man, and like I said, when I originally posted it, I was just laughing at the Whippy up at that front end,
judging.
judging. Basically, is what she was doing. But yeah. Let me I'ma do this right quick. Hold on, put us back at the bottom. I want to look at these comments. So there we go. We going I don't know. Can you see them comments, Brittany?
No, not really, but I can go onto your page and read them really quick.
Okay, cause yeah, I was going those yeah them comments was crazy. Like um yeah.
What comments was on your page?
Yeah, the photo on my page and all the comments under there. Cause you said, "Girl, get your ass up."
Oh yeah, girl. I was like, oh hell no. No sis, we don't do that.
Yeah, we don't do that. Oh,
Mm.
so Anita Byer Smith said, "We are always ahead of the men in the maturity area. That's why it is in our best interest to allow him to make the first move to make sure he is in it to fight for it." Yes, and I agree with that. Like, I really do agree with that. and it's proven that men kind of mature slower than women.
Mhm.
So it makes sense to kind of make the man make that first move, because you're right. You want to make sure that he's doing it for the right reasons and that he's actually in it to win it,
All right.
and not just doing it because you're obligating him to do it. So
Right.
that makes sense.
I agree.
So I got it. I got your post up now. So to see what everybody. So one comment on here was, it's damn near 2022. What's the problem with the woman going for hers? Now, if I'm that pregnant, I'm going to need you to pull up pull up a chair. I'm not getting on my knees. I may not be able to get back up.
Mm.
So that was one woman who was fine with it.
Right. And I'm like I said, I try to be very open minded, but that's just one thing I don't agree with. If I saw any of my cisgender female friends on one knee or even coming to me saying, "Oh my God, I think I want to propose to him," I'm gonna slap the shit out of her. Like I'm gonna literally slap some sense. Like, what the hell? No, no. I'm gonna ask because Steve Harvey and them, and a lot of people don't like him, but even when I was reading his book and some of the stuff he said, a man knows what he want to do with you. He
Mhm.
knows, like in that, like he said, if either you gonna be a trophy, where he gonna want that fine woman, and that's like that in any relationship. You got that trophy woman. You want that trophy. She good to look at, whatever. You take around all your fellas and whatever. What did he say? She bait. You gonna throw that. You gonna throw that woman back out there. You're not gonna hold on to it. You're gonna move on to the next. You know who you want to marry and keep around. They know these things. So if you that pregnant and he ain't asked you, it's something wrong with this picture. It's totally something wrong because when you got pregnant and you first got pregnant, you telling this man, why didn't he say, "Oh my God, I want to be a family with you"? Or maybe he didn't want a baby. I don't know what the situation is because it's a photo, and
Right.
photos speak 1,000 words, and everybody interpret it differently. But again, if any of my friends, straight heterosexual, identifying straight women, come to me and tell me that they thinking about buying a ring for a man, I
Mhm.
am going to slap some sense into them.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So we're just gonna keep y'all entertained until our guest arrive. She can log in about 30 more minutes. She can log in about 30 more minutes. So we'll just keep it going until she log in. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so here. Let me look at the next one. So another person said comments and said this shit lame, hella lame.
Exactly.
Somebody else was like, I noticed his gold ass watch and she was holding on to her belly. Nah.
Mm.
Mm.
And then another person was like, this surprising? Nah. Some too young to know about Sadie Hawkins. What's absolutely confusing is transitioning to males having babies. Alpha women, pregos, and I ain't waiting on men these days. I don't know what she was talking about with that one.
Mm.
But then I see Ashley talking about, girl, get your ass up. So I definitely say that. Somebody else was like tomfoolery. A lot
Mm.
of people were saying this is foolish shit. A man actually commented and said, why buy the cow when the milk is free?
Mm.
Yeah, that's my buddy from Chi-Town.
That part.
Should be Leonard. Was that Leonard Leroy?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Leonard Roy. Yeah.
I want to say remix, rework. I get tongue tied. But all this really is tying into what our show is gonna lead into as soon as our special guest come on. Um, she's gonna be talking about these narcissistic relationships and how to come into one with yourself, how to be accepted by men. And I had a brain fart, y'all. I'm sorry.
No.
Girl,
So
like,
I was reading one of the comments.
yeah, it was there too. Then she just.
Right.
I had a brain
Right.
fart. I'm sorry.
But
Brittany,
I
what?
had an interesting
That's
one
the
that Ronald said. Ronald said, A, maybe she told him no when he asked the first time. But seriously though, with all these women claiming to be masculine And Alpha, are you surprised this is even happening?
That's the one I responded to because I he kind of confused me in the moment, and you could read through that thread because I thought he was saying she was masculine identified. So I'm like, if she's masculine identified, why is she like it didn't go together what he was saying.
Nah,
Um, I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
he
agree
was
with
just
it.
saying, like, you know how women always so independent and want to be, just
Yeah, women be
black
doing
women.
too much
Yeah,
nowadays, especially my black sisters. I'm
yeah.
sorry, but my sisters, my queens, yeah, and I think a lot of them might think this is okay because whereas traditionally when I was raised, the man was the head of the household. He was the provider. He went out, he made the money, he took care of things like that. Mom, she might work part time or whatever, cook feed, but take care of the kids. The father was there, but he was like the head of the household. Whereas here in 2021, over the last 10 years,
The roles
more
reversed.
women are head of households.
The roles
Yeah,
reversed.
they reverse because I know a guy right now. I asked the straight guy, "What would you do if your woman had proposed?" He said, "Oh nah." He said, "I would straight up ask her like, um, do you want to be with a woman? Like what?" He said, "I would have felt." He said, "That shit is gay as hell to me." This is a straight guy that I'm talking to. I showed him. He said, "Nah, that shit gay as hell." He said, "Nah, I ain't no pussy." Excuse my French, but he was like, his manhood would be tested. He already was having a little bit of a thing because his wife makes more money than him.
Mm.
Mm.
So that already bothered him because he's on this hustle and this game and he's on this rush to find a job because he feel like him and his wife needs to make the same money or he should be making more money than she is making.
Mm.
Mm.
So yeah. So he yeah.
Nowadays, I don't know. I feel like I got a fan. Well, I know someone. I'm not even gonna say. I know someone who actually had their fiance. He was at the house taking care of the kids and stuff. This was during the pandemic, and she was going to work every day, and she was okay with it. She okay with it, you know what I'm saying? But to each his own. For Ashley, that's not the life I want to live, baby. I don't want to be out here working hard and my man sitting at the house chilling. Like I can't do it. This is not me. I want to work because I always want to make my own money,
Hmm.
but I don't want to. No.
So
Mm.
I see another woman. She also commented. I see no problem with it. A woman going after what she wants. Is 2021. Enough with that heteronormative, stereotypical ways of thinking. And someone else had commented and said exactly.
Mm.
Mm.
To each his own.
Right.
Yeah. To each his own.
But y'all just not for it.
And
Y'all just not for it. I
I'm
get
no,
not
it.
for it.
no, 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 no.
Well, Don, how did you propose to your life?
Say it again.
How did you propose to your life?
We had a conversation. There was no one need thing when we first
Mhm.
met. We was very transparent and we created a friendship.
Mhm.
In the beginning, we was both transparent about what it was we was looking for and what it was we wanted.
Mhm.
So she did follow my page and she was aware of my escapades or my entanglements.
Mm.
So she just let me know this is not going to be an entanglement. You know, this is what I'm looking for. This is my goal. And we kind of like talked about it and we agreed that that was something we both wanted. And then again, we dated for like, what, 2 years? Yeah, we got to know each other. And then 2 years later, we just sat down, had a conversation again about being married. And we would always talk about it. And then we just agreed it was just a mutual agreement from a conversation, and then we decided on the date. I was like, okay. So when we got close to decide, like, yeah, we're gonna get married, da da da. But she did let me know up in the front, she don't shack up. She not gonna sit around while I try to figure it out. So whatever it is I was gonna do, I need to do it because we had that conversation, like what I was saying a minute ago. When you meet somebody in the beginning, within the first 90 days, and at that beginning, you know what you want to do with this person. You
Right.
have some idea of, because everyone I was dating, I knew what I wanted to do with who I wanted to do it with and how long I wanted them around. But I was also transparent. Now, I did have women propose to me. Me and my wife, that was just a general conversation that took place and led to marriage or whatever. We agreed this is what we both want, this is what we're both working toward. Prior to that, though, I did have, women propose. Like, I want to marry you or not. When we gonna get married? They'll say something like, when we gonna get married? Not just kind of like look at them like, girl, bye, whatever. Laugh, but I did have two actual proposals with rings. One person, we went out to dinner to the Grand Lux. It's a nice, fancy restaurant in Chicago, beautiful restaurant. She had set the whole little thing up. Like, the people there knew how we were sitting over there. The people there knew. Her friends was there. Her friends knew. I didn't know. My buddies was with me. We didn't know. We didn't know. She mentioned it to my friend B at the time, and B was like, she told her, I don't know, you might want to talk to the, because at the time I had just came out of a 10-year relationship.
Right.
I had just, and I was very transparent, like I had just came out of a 10-year relationship. So she proposed and I told her no. Like, and she got mad because she said I should have took the ring and told her no later. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, then I'm gonna look like an asshole because you're gonna go make us some shit.
Right.
So, but when she did it, she gave the ring, she stood up at the end of the table, everybody da da da. And I'm like, looking crazy. She came on the side, she did this thing, came on the side, got down, and I'm like trying to get her back up, like, what you doing, Stan? Like, what are you doing? My friend sitting there like doing this, like, Lord Jesus. So she went over, helped the young lady up, and the young lady was still standing there with the ring. And I looked at the ring like, everybody looking at me, and I could feel them whispering because they like. I was like, oh, this is so sweet. I said, but I can't accept this.
Mm.
I said, I can't. I said, I care about you, but I can't. And then it turned into a conversation at the table. And for me, because I'm a very upfront and transparent person, so you have to say these things up front. So sometimes maybe these men or these women that's getting down on one knee proposing to me, and I don't feel like they really communicated and had real conversations
No.
to let them know what it is they want, and I just don't, because I like to have conversations up front. But this young lady had already knew about the 10-year relationship, and her thing was like, oh, you ain't just get out that relationship. You got that relationship about 4 years ago. I don't care. I don't want to be committed like that no more. My entire 20s, I was committed. So we all had, it turned into a conversation. Of course, she got upset and left. But some of her buddies stayed back because they nosy and they wanted to know what I was gonna say. They was like, "Why did you do that? You could have took it and told her later." I was like, "No, because that's not my personality. That's not how I do things." I said, "Her and I have not known each other long enough. I said, we had only known each other a couple of months. I think we had,
Hell no.
it wasn't that long, and we had only been out a couple of times. Like, we would all hang out in a circle together,
Right.
but a lot of times people mistake spending time for a relationship or because they like you. Say if they meet you and they like you, and so now it's 3 or 4 months and they hanging out with you and they like you, so you got about 6 months that you might not even know that person is interested in you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then so they want to attach that time to the time where they actually tell you. So they probably don't actually tell you until 6 months later. So now they talking about it's a whole year, and you sitting up there like, motherfucker, you just told me this like 6 months ago.
Right.
So in my mind, it had been longer, but it had not been long. It had not been that long. In the last couple of weeks, we was hanging out, but a lot of times you have to be transparent. And I think this with these women proposing to these, I think it's a trend. A lot of stuff that's happening now in 2020, 2021, I think is trends. I really believe a lot of stuff that's happening is trans, and that's why I want to get later on into the conversation of gender, talking about gender and things of that nature, because I feel like um, a lot of things with the gender thing is a trend. It's non-binary. Call me dumb day. It's a trend. I think the marriage thing is a trend because right after I did that, I was trying to find it. Someone tagged me in a post with about 25 photos of women proposing to men.
Mm.
She was like, "Yo, Don, did you see this?" And it was about, and I meant to download the photos so that I could share them. But it was a photo, and it had 25 photos, and this was all women. And unfortunately, it was all black women.
Mm.
It was all black women proposing. So
That
I
doesn't
was like,
surprise me
"Is it a
because of the
challenge?" Because they
statistics as
got
far as like
TikTok. So
black women being.
is it a challenge or not? Like, I don't
What
know.
happened to Brittany? She froze.
She froze. But what we're about to do, my beautiful people, since our special guest is not going to be available for another 15 minutes, and I really want to uh, focus for those that's watching. I really want to focus on what the topic really was supposed to be about, which was meditation and spiritual healing. So she's going to be coming on at 10:45. So what we're going to do is go ahead on and end this show. And for the ones that are watching, give me about 15 minutes, and we're going to come back live with uh the special guest and get more into the meditation and the spiritual healing. So we're gonna go ahead on and log out of this one, and again, just log back in 15 minutes, and we'll be back live. We'll be back live with you with the actual show for meditation and spiritual healing.